I've lived in Maple Hollow my whole life. It's the kind of place where everyone waves when they pass you in their truck, where Main Street shuts down for the high school parade, and where you can set your watch by the church bell on Sunday mornings. Tornado warnings aren't uncommon. In fact, we get so many in spring that most folks don't even flinch unless the sky turns that sickly green and the wind goes dead still. But this one's different. We're on day 4 now. Not just of the storm, of the warning. It hasn't been lifted. That's not just rare, it's unheard of. Even in 2011, when the Hollow got hit by that EF4, the warning lasted maybe 5 hours. Not 4 days, not with no updates, no emergency crews, no cleanup. Nothing. It started simple enough. Tuesday afternoon, I was feeding the goats and checking on the corn after work when my phone buzzed with that harsh screech and the words "tornado warning, seek shelter immediately." I looked up. Clouds, yeah. Bit of wind, but nothing threatening. Still, protocol is protocol. I grabbed the dog, Daisy, old yellow mutt, and headed down to the storm shelter built under the shed. It's not fancy. Cinder block walls, shelves lined with canned goods, and an old twin mattress I use for hunting trips. There's a hand crank radio, battery lanterns, and a couple gallons of drinking water. More than enough for a night, maybe 2. When I got settled, I turned on the radio. "Emergency weather alert for Pine County," the robotic voice said. "Residents are advised to remain sheltered. Do not respond to any voices or sounds outside your home. Keep all doors locked. Await official signal before emerging." I actually laughed. Do not respond to any voices or sounds outside your home? What kind of nonsense was that? Was it a prank? An overzealous emergency test? But something about the voice gave me pause. Not what it said, how it said it. It sounded strained, tired, not quite human. That first night I slept poorly. Daisy kept pacing and whining, ears pinned back. The rain wasn't bad. The thunder rolled far off. It felt more like a warning than a storm. I woke up just after 2 a.m. to scratching. Not from Daisy. She was staring at the door, frozen. The sound came from the top of the storm shelter steps, a slow dragging, like someone was moving their fingers over the metal frame. Then a knock, software too soft to be the wind. "Eli?" a voice called. My name. "You down there?" It sounded like my cousin Ray. Same drawl, same little hitch he gets when he says my name. But Ray lives 2 towns over, hasn't visited in months. I didn't answer. "Eli, it's me. Ray. Come on, open up, man. It's bad out here." Still, I said nothing. The voice grew quieter. "Please." Then silence. The next morning I tried the radio again. Static. Then a clear voice, same as the day before. "Do not respond to any voices outside. Await the signal." I started to get that pressure in my chest, the kind you get when you realize you might actually be in trouble. I stayed down there the whole second day. Daisy wouldn't leave my side. At one point, I thought I heard someone calling my mother's voice from above. She's been gone 5 years. That night, I dreamed of the storm shelter door opening slowly and something crawling down the steps. Long fingers, grinning face, wearing Ray's clothes, but not Ray's eyes. On the third morning, I finally cracked the door an inch. The wind was dead. No birds, no bugs. Just the kind of silence that feels wrong. I closed it again. By the fourth day, I was running low on patience and food. That's when the radio voice changed. "Eli, this is Sheriff Waters. It's safe to come out now. The storm's passed." I stared at the radio. No crackle, no background noise, just clean, perfect sound. Too perfect. "Eli, it's safe. You can come out. Everyone else has. Don't be afraid," Daisy barked. Not at the radio, at the door. Then from outside, knocking. "Eli," a different voice said. It was me. My own voice. "Come on, you're scaring people." That's when I finally understood. Whatever was out there, it could hear us. It could mimic us. I turned off the radio. I remembered something then. Back in 2009, when I was just a kid, the old man who lived across the fields, Luther Griggs, went missing after a bad summer storm. Folks said he wandered off in the wind, disoriented. Others said he ran away, left town. But my dad always said he didn't believe either story. Said Luther had called him at 2 a.m., screaming that something was knocking on his storm shelter, screaming that it sounded like his late wife. That night was just like this one. Long storm, longer silence. No tornado ever touched down. They never found Luther. I made a decision. There's an old drainage tunnel running beneath the back edge of my property. My granddad built it before the town installed proper stormwater systems. Half collapsed, mostly forgotten. But if I could dig through the rear wall of the shelter, I might be able to crawl through and come out behind the shed, out of sight of whatever was pretending to be Ray, or me, or Mom. I worked all night with a crowbar and shovel. Daisy stayed near, never barking now, just watching the door like it might explode inward at any second. By dawn, I had cracked a hole in the concrete. It was narrow, damp, smelled like mold and old water. But it was a way out. I packed a bag with the last of the food and 2 bottles of water. Then I picked up Daisy, who whined softly but didn't resist. I didn't say goodbye, just crawled in. The tunnel was a nightmare, half filled with water. Something slithered past my hand at one point, a snake, I hope. I crawled for 20 minutes before I saw daylight through a grate. I pushed it open and emerged behind the shed, coughing. The sky was gray, still no wind. The air was heavy. I stood up and ran for the tree line, to the neighbor's place, to a road, to anyone. That's when I heard it. "Eli?" It was my voice again, louder now, closer. "I can see you." I turned. Standing in the open field was something wearing me. Same face, same jeans and boots, but wrong. The smile too wide, the arms too long, the eyes empty. "Why are you running from yourself?" it asked. I didn't answer, I just ran. I made it to the Doherty place 2 miles down. Their shelter was wide open, no one inside, just silence. I grabbed their landline. No dial tone. I turned to leave and saw Daisy staring at the window. "Mom?" came a soft voice from outside. I didn't look. I closed the door. I locked it. It's now day 6. The sky hasn't changed. The radio, when I risk turning it on, only says, "Await the signal." I haven't heard thunder in days. Just voices. All night. They don't try to break in. Not anymore. They wait. I'm writing this in a notebook I found in the Doherty's basement. I'm going to try and leave this place tomorrow. Maybe the next town is untouched. Maybe someone knows what's happening. Or maybe the warning wasn't about a storm. Maybe it never was. Postscript found 6 months later by FEMA Survey Unit 4, Pine County, notebook recovered from the Doherty farm, presumed written by Elijah C. Hart. All buildings in Maple Hollow were found intact, with no signs of damage consistent with tornadic activity. No bodies found, no signs of struggle, no residents accounted for. Final page reads, "If you hear a voice you love, do not answer. If it knows your name, do not respond. If the warning lasts longer than the storm, it's not a warning anymore. It's the truth."